All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. How you doing today? Is it looking good for you? Do you wake up excited? I hope so. I really do. I keep saying that. I keep starting this podcast out with that because that's kind of really what's important is that it's not so much where you are right now. It's how you feel about where you are and how motivated you are to get things done, right? I remember Sandy and I, when we went to Destin, Florida, we spent the winter with a bunch of snowbirds, right? And snowbirds, these people are in their late 60s, mid 60s, 70s. And the one thing that kind of caught my attention about it, partly because of what I was doing at the time and just how I view life and the need to continue to grow and to become more than what you are in any given time. I think what caught my attention is that there's all these people, and they come from all these different lines of employment, and they have different stories, and they get to a certain point in their life and it seems like they've just stopped. They're just done, right? Granted, they have the fifth wheel or the motor coach or whatever it is they travel in, but when it comes to the direction that they're headed, the next challenge, the next mountain, the next hurdle, they're done. Now, my plan is that I'll probably live until I'm 75. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not going to stop until I get there. I'm not going to stop until the clock runs out on me, right? I think that's where living your best life, that's the foundation of it. That is the primal explanation of this story I'm trying to explain. The issue isn't where you are right now. The issue is, where are you going? And for a lot of people, I see a lot of people who adapt this American dream. They're done, basically. All right, we got the house, we have the cars. I'm 35 now. When I get the house paid off, we can probably get out of debt before I retire, and then we can maybe buy an RV, go travel around the country, do this. Why does that have to be it? I mean, if you're still alive, if you wake up every day, all that stuff you're going to do today, you've already done that. You've proven to yourself and to the world that you can buy a house, you can work your butt off every day for Lord knows how many years. You can buy furniture, you can create the same exact model of a life that your neighbor created, that the guy across the street created, that your mom and dad created. But that doesn't mean you're done. That just means you met one standard according to this marketing model that we've been given. This is happiness. It's okay to go in debt for 30 years for a house. It's okay to owe people more money than you earn. Now that you've done that and that you're sitting in that mire, whatever that looks like, maybe you have an amazing life. I don't know. Doesn't mean you're done. You don't stop. What thing will you learn now that you've got all this? Now that you look around your life, what's next? What's your next mountain? What is your next hurdle? If you're approaching the life the way that I suggest you approach it, I'm not going to say the right way because maybe it's not the right way for you. Maybe you are living your better homes and gardens life. For me, I don't see it. I don't see a lot of happy people walking around in the store. Certainly don't see a lot of happy people stuck in traffic around Chicago, right? You're never done. And for you to allow yourself to be done is kind of a waste of life, because there are people who woke up today who will not live through the day. There are people who will say goodbye to this experience called life today. So how can we wake up and actually accept that this is enough? How can we actually wake up and accept I'm done learning? My relationship is as good as it's going to get. I'm not going to work any harder on it. I'm not going to learn something new about it. I'm not going to try something new to add the fire to it, to get a spark going again, to wake up and laugh because we're both getting fat, because we're both getting old, because we can't run as fast as we used to. Or in my case, I can't run at all now. I mean, I do run a little bit, but I'm trying to preserve my knees. I've done enough damage to them, right? The reason I show up here every day is because I'm not done. I'm not done. I know there is one person out there that's going to say, hey, listen, you know what? His approach isn't always right. His story isn't always that great, but guess what? He's right. The more things I add to my life that inspire me, the more energy I'm going to have to handle the things that don't. That makes sense, right? I don't care who you are. There are things that I will have to do in the course of this life, these choices I've made that I don't enjoy. I certainly don't enjoy emptying the black tank. I don't like working on slides. It's kind of a pain in the butt hooking this thing up, getting ready to move. If I could avoid that, I would, but I'm not done seeing the world. I'm not done experiencing things that I have never experienced. I'm not done pushing myself beyond my fears. And I don't know when that'll ever happen. We've already got a plan. So when we buy our sticks and bricks house because we've gotten too old to travel, we talk about me having a studio, my own studio, because of course I do the podcast, and who knows where that'll be by this time, but I'd imagine it'll continue to grow. And I think the writing thing is something I've kind of gotten into, not as a periodical, but I'd come in enjoying, now that I've gotten the motivation, the experience and the challenge of writing my first book. And when all those things fade, I guarantee when all those things step away, there's going to be something else that I'm still going to be trying to figure out how to do, something I don't know anything about. And a lot of times what that looks like is that's the culmination of this current effort. I don't know where this podcast is going, or when I'll be finished with it, or how it's all going to culminate in making my life better. But I know it is. Something's going to change, an opportunity's going to come up, and all of a sudden I'm going to say, oh wow, okay, now here's something new to learn. Ooh, that's scary. Here's a new challenge. But isn't that the point of life? That's why we invented the wheel. That's why the Wright brothers discovered how to fly. That's why we sent men to the moon. In spite of what this model you've been handed, we are not designed, it is not in our nature to stop. That's why a lot of the old guys in Florida spend their time drinking vodka. Because you got to do something to quell that natural instinct, that natural desire to want more, to do more, to achieve more, to challenge yourself to become better. That's what living your best life is all about. You're never done. You will never be done. Even when you want to stop, guess what? Even when you've decided not to do anything, I guarantee life will hand you something that you have to face. Life will hand you something that you didn't ask for, that you don't want, that will challenge you. Because you're never done. So what does this mean? Well, if you're going to be occupied by doing things, if you're going to be required to continually move forward, why not pick something that actually gives you the benefits that you want from it? I mean, we struggled through getting rid of the house and moving into a fifth wheel and learning this life and doing all the things we've done. But guess what? There's going to come a point in the near future when I get to spend the entire winter in an island paradise in Fiesta Key, Florida, playing in the water, kayaking over stingrays and whatever else is in the ocean, getting the hell scared out of me because I see a shark and there's just a thin layer of plastic between me and him, right? Working with what I have when I'm 10 years old, or still trying to keep some muscle on, still trying to work out that burpee, trying to get those push-ups, trying to grab those pull-ups. You know why? Because there are a lot of guys who have given that up. A lot of guys have said, yeah, I'm fat. I'm okay with that. Okay, cool. Is that your fire? Is that your energy? Is that your thing that drives you forward? I hope so. I hope so. I'm thinking if that's your choice, given this is your life, you are running out of time, right? If you're doing it just because you don't have the energy to do something else, that's a red flag for me. It's definitely not on the path to living your best life. And is that a judgment? Yeah, I guess it kind of is. It kind of is, because people used to laugh at me because I would always be engaged in some activity, learning or doing something that I haven't done, and certainly doing something that no one around me is doing. I started doing website design early on. And it was cool. I learned something, learned how to do it. Started doing audio and video and photography and digital art and all that stuff. It wasn't because I was getting paid for it. It's because it was something I didn't know. It's because it was the thing I needed to get done at the time. And what was the motivation? Pure self-satisfaction. The idea that I can. The idea that while I can choose to just do what I'm already doing, why not step beyond that and do something more? Back to the podcast, prime example, right? Back to this moment right here. It doesn't matter if you're watching me on YouTube, you can see me. I mean, this is who I am. Is it fine? Yes, it's perfectly fine. You know why? Because I'm doing something most people will never do. And in my mind, regardless of whether it's fiction or fact, eventually I believe there's going to be a positive outcome that adds value to my life, that rewards me in some way, because you can't do this much, or you can't put this much effort into trying to help people see what you know, or see what there is another choice, purely because I know, because I can, because I'm living it, I'm willing to share it, I'm willing to step up and not have something better happen in my life. And it already is. I mean, I get to spend my time thinking about how to help you live a better life, which requires me to think about my life. So, I'm not sure where you're going. I don't think it really matters as much where you are right now, but where you're going is the key. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished today. If you're not moving towards a new accomplishment, towards a new way to do things that improve the feeling, the energy that you draw from this thing called living, you're not doing yourself justice. You're not capitalizing on the blessing of being able to take one more breath. That's what living your best life is all about. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until you stop thinking, until you stop existing. I don't know about you, but I'm going to live my last day like an MMA fighter in the last 20 seconds of the round, of the final round. I'm going to go as hard as I can, to learn as much as I can, do as many things as I can, until life says you're done. Because that's where it ends, right? You're never done until life says you're done. You can quit. You can just stop learning, stop being a better version of yourself, stop trying to be a better father, a better friend, a better employee. That doesn't negate the responsibility you have, because you're never done. So, anyway, keep that in mind. I hope the point is made here. I hope that no matter where you are in life, the thing you have to remember is that you're one choice away from making it better. Is it easy? No. It's not always easy. In fact, the things that are most attractive about the life we live were the most difficult. I look back and I can't imagine the fact that I actually managed to work with my wife in a way that allowed us to change our entire identity. And we did it. And we're not done. And neither are you. So, when you wake up tomorrow morning, ask yourself what you can do to make your life better. What thing can you add to your life? What thing can you take away from your life that will add value to your life and give you the energy you need, give you the win you need to push you forward to your next adventure? Look for it. Search it out. And I guarantee you will never regret that you did. So keep that in mind as always. Until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.